Hello? Good morning, Roll Gang, and welcome on inside to another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I am your host this morning, Processor Sky, here with another episode of the show, a midweek mailbag episode on this beautiful and hailing Wednesday here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am super hyped to be answering some old questions from the Roll Gangsters on Twitter, and one guy from Twitch that I missed from a while ago, shout out, Buzzed All the Time, a watcher from abroad actually, so super excited to answer some questions from the Roll Gangsters. You know what it is here on the Weekday Wake and Bake, going live every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. As after all, we have awoke, so now we smoke, as per stoner law. And I have some unbelievable gelato to burn with you guys on the show this morning. Super, super pumped to have my parents in the building, the live studio audience, repping the fam. I'm really excited to have my mom on the show, the genius behind the Rolling Spoon Scoop news posts on the Rolling Spoon Instagram. The mastermind behind it will be on the news show for the first time in studio tomorrow. It's going to be an absolute can't miss episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake with my mom, Dana Sky, yoga zen master and marketing director of the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool. Speaking of the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool, while I break down some of this gelato and roll it up perfectly with my rolling spoon, major shout outs to the sponsors of the show because they make it happen for the Roll Gangsters and make this show possible. First and foremost, Oaksterdam University, the 15-year-old first cannabis college in the world, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are looking to increase your cannabis industry knowledge, whether it's in the horticulture department or the compliance department, or my personal favorite, the cannabis business department, Oaksterdam has got you covered with all of the predominant professors that teach all these unbelievable courses surrounding this amazing plant. Hit up Oaksterdam University at Oaksterdam University on Instagram or oaksterdamuniversity.com and use promo code Rolling Spoon, one word. I mean, it is the ultimate multi-tool, you know, helping you to roll a dime every time and helping you to learn more about cannabis for 10% off. So make sure you utilize promo code Rolling Spoon whenever you are placing your order for your tuition at the first cannabis college of all time and proud sponsor of the show, Oaksterdam University. And also, every weekday morning, we like to roll up some joint skis on the show, and they gotta be dimes every time. How could you smoke on the smoke show and not roll up a dime? Well, Roll Gang, I don't know what to tell you. I wouldn't be able to do it without my Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool. Roll a dime, pack a bowl, scoop, sweep, pack, enjoy is what it says on this display box that I normally have on the show. Oh, good Lord, the sticker isn't even on it, but got Rolling Spoons flying. Shout out Higher Education. Got Medicine, was on the show yesterday, and Oaksterdam University Spoon. My favorite cannabis multi-tool. So without further ado, it is the midweek mailbag, and we do have a mailbag question from the Roll Gangsters. Actually, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mailbag questions from the Roll Gangsters that I wanted to retouch on. I did not get to post my regular post this week, but I had some good questions in the bank, and we're going to dive on in and answer some of these from the Roll Gangsters while we blaze this joint. Lick it and stick it, because it's time to seal the deal. Good Lord. Can one of you guys sauce me a lighter? You think you can toss it to me? I can't believe I don't have a lighter. Oh, thanks, Mom. Shout out Dana Sky, Yoga Zen Master, tossing me the lighter. Alright, so the first question on today's midweek mailbag episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake comes from @GlennB10. Glenn B10. I mean, I wonder if this dude's a Ben 10 fan. I was a Ben 10 fan growing up. So @GlennB10 says, do you ever take bong rips or just joints? LOL. Wait a minute, here. For the sake of the show. I have a bong, contrary to popular belief. I do have a bong, and she's very pretty. We got her at MJ BizCon. Pretty dirty, pretty pretty. And for the sake of Glenn B10, I'm going to try to take a bong rip of this joint. Wait. Gotta clear the hole with my rolling spoon. You know, make a little hole. Man, it didn't pull too much. That was a little better. Anyways, I do sometimes take bong rips, you know, Glenn B10. But one of the most important factors in life in general, let alone smoking, is time. Time is a beautiful thing. And the difference between a bong rip and a joint, they're similar amounts of herb. You know, I'm using 0.4 in each of these. The difference is a joint takes time. I sparked this a couple minutes ago and it's still burning. A bong rip, you know, you just rip it and dip it. It feels great. Don't get me wrong. Super medicinal. Great reasons. And I frowned upon nobody who prefers bong rips. I just personally smoke a lot of joints because they simply take time. And, you know, allow me to recollect on my day or my thoughts. Just ground me in the moment, if you will. So shout out @GlennB10 on Twitter for this great question. Do you ever take bong rips or just joints? LOL. I smoke 99% joints. And then of the other 1%, you know, probably 90% of that is blunts. And then I take a bong rip probably once every blue moon. But I don't have anything against it. I just don't really ever take them. But anyways, the next question on this midweek mailbag episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake comes from @FlowerGirl on Twitter with no vowels. FLWRGRL. @FlowerGirl on Twitter says, do you sell weed? What an interesting question. Does the processor sell weed? Well, I used to, Flower Girl. I had this company that basically was the foundation of my capital and career in the cannabis industry. The gas station Sacramento was an absolute bomb of a time, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad to be the hell out of there. And I'm not really selling weed anymore. I'm selling spoons that help roll weed, or help pack their bowl or help manage weed, I like to be weed adjacent in the sales nowadays because, weed's just in such high demand that it's kind of scary. And I'm trying to find my little niche. But huge shout out Flower Girl. It's a great question, honestly. I think a lot of people probably wonder if I sell weed. And of course, I've sold a lot of weed, a ton of weed. But yeah, I think I'm done with that for now. Anyway, shout out Flower Girl. Great question. The next one comes from @AshtayWarrior on Twitter. But before we get on into that one, major shout out to Oaksterdam University, the first ever cannabis college. Get your cannabis education for 10% off with promo code ROLLINGSPOON. Claim your stake in this budding industry, and really, you can make yourself take off. Put Oaksterdam on your resume when you're applying to a cannabis career, and it really boosts your credibility and your knowledge in the industry. I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder cracking in the background, but it's kind of pretty serene. I don't know if that's ever happened on the show before. Can't hear it. But anyways, shout out @AshtayWarrior for the next question here on this midweek mailbag episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake, brought to you by Oaksterdam University and the Rolling Spoon. Do you have any collections? Wow. That's a pretty good question. So I do have a pretty badass collection of rolling spoons, considering, that's... Oh shit, I just dumped them out. Considering that's what I like. I got the double printed source spoons, and Medicine, the rolling spoons. We got Canistars Dispensary, major shout out Canistars, right next to Pawn Stars. We got Showgrow, quite the collection of rolling spoons with different amazing coalitions. The Chamber of Cannabis spoon. That's my most honorable collection. But I also collect matchbooks from Las Vegas casinos and resorts. So I like to go in and out of the casinos where everybody's spending thousands and thousands of dollars. And, I'll collect a few matchbooks here and there. And they're free. And whenever, you walk out with a collection of matchbooks branded to all of the different Las Vegas casinos, you can get a pretty big bag. And it was completely free. You're the only one that's going in the casino and winning every time. So I have a pretty large collection of Las Vegas casino matchbooks. Shout out @AshtayWarrior for the question. Probably has a collection of ashtrays. I would love to see @AshtayWarrior's collection of ashtrays. Pretty sure that's probably why you asked the question. But I don't have any real collections, but man, if you got some sick ashtrays, I definitely respect a cool ashtray. This ashtray is the one I normally use on the show. It's like it's not very cool. It's got a little rest, but it is what it is. Shout out @AshtayWarrior for the question, do you have any collections? Rolling spoons and matchbooks. That's what I got. The next question comes from Twitch. Question that I've missed for a minute. @BuzzedAllTheTime from Twitch says, have you ever been to Amsterdam? And this guy's profile is from Amsterdam and pops onto the show on Twitch from time to time. Really great to answer a question from a viewer in Amsterdam. No, I have not been buzzed all the time. Well, I have been buzzed a lot, but @buzzed all the time, I've never been to Amsterdam. And I really am thinking about doing a work study because the consumption lounge coffee shop situations and the way the industry is operating is so futuristic and developed that, it really deserves a work study. And I definitely gotta come through. When I do, I'll definitely hit you up at Buzzed All the Time on Twitch. And hopefully we can have a sesh out in Amsterdam at one of those coffee shops. It would be super, super dope. So the last question on this midweek mailbag episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake comes from at Chris91851. At Chris91851 on Twitter says, "Can you shut the fuck up already?" Yeah, honestly, Chris, I can't. I literally can't stop yapping. And I just love wake and baking with you guys. And, I love every single person I get to wake and bake with, get nice and medicated in the mornings. It is so nice to see you guys every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time and smoke a perfectly rolled joint with the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool. A delicious combination. A perfectly rolled joint and an Oaksterdam University 15-year anniversary Rolling Spoon. So, without further ado, Roll Gang and Chris91851, who says, "Can you please shut the fuck up already?" I added the please because I wish he said please, but he really just said, "Can you shut the fuck up already?" to me. But I fucking love it. Like, the bands are so welcome. Midweek mailbag, bring them hard, bring them hot, and hold no cap. We can take it. And Chris, here you have it. I'm gonna shut the fuck up soon. But tomorrow's episode is incredibly hype. We've got a Canon News Thursday with the queen of Canon News herself, my mom, Dana Sky, who masters the Rolling Spoon Scoop, the little news stories on at rolling_spoon on Instagram. Whenever there's some nice chunk of cannabis news, my mom is on it and makes a little graphic Rolling Spoon scoop and keeps the Roll Gangsters up to date. Super excited for my mom's first in-studio episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. It is going to be really awesome. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. So much love to all of you guys. I'm going to go and smoke the rest of this joint. Can't go outside. A little bit rainy and funky out there, but so much love to you guys. Shout out to you at the end of the day, and dedicated to you, of course. Mwah. Love your processor. Another episode of the Midweek Mailbag Weekday Wake and Bake. See ya!